I had an event happen to me recently that reminded me why I don't like to jump to my first conclusions or to my guttural, maybe aggressive response that we might sometimes have in certain situations. Because I found that more often than not, our first reaction is usually incorrect. Especially when something is annoying us, something is bothering us, we take the most aggressive stance possible. And I'll give you the example here. I was at dinner recently with my friends, and the person behind me at the booth kept rocking back and forth and rocking back and forth and hitting the back of the seat and thrusting me forward, right? Kept hitting me in the back, to the point where, my company with me was saying, what the hell's wrong with this guy, right? And they were laughing on the other side of it, and your initial reaction could have been, what the hell, dude? Quit it. You're being rude, and just been aggressive about it. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I do this more often than not because it usually works out in a better favor, because we often forget that other people are living their lives and having problems. And you don't know what their problems are, right? I could have looked back and said, dude, quit your shit. What the hell is wrong with you? You're being rude. I'm trying to enjoy my dinner. Instead, I turned around and said, hey, are you okay? Is something wrong? You seem to be rocking back and forth a lot. I want to make sure you're okay. And it turns out the gentleman who was having a nice night had Huntington's disease. And he told me, I'm sorry, I can't control that I'm rocking. I don't even notice I'm doing it at this point. And so had I listened to my first instinct and been aggressive and been upset with him, I would have just embarrassed this guy for what he, ultimately is a life-ending disease. And so I want to remind all of you after this 3-minute rant is to not take your first reaction in negativity. Remember, just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's in somebody else's. So someone doing something may not be at you. It may not be directed negatively towards you. And if we take things that way, we might make some pretty potentially awful mistakes. You don't need to make people's lives harder. Do whatever you can to make it easier. And in that case, I showed a man some grace, and he apologized, and I said, no, I just wanted to make sure you're okay. And that's what mattered. I had a human moment instead of getting upset with him for bumping me in the head while I was eating my chile con carne. So, something to think about for you guys. Compassion goes a long way.